So I guess like, what's up with the price point?
Do you like the price point, or?
I think I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a suspicion. Like, so I'm still waiting for it to kind of.
You're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we were very careful in determining our price point, and what we wanted to do is offer something that's a very good value in terms of performance, mechanically robust, longitude of life, and serviceability for repairs, and ease of fixing if something gets damaged. And we see these as a vehicle for the mind, right? So if you think about a car, kind of economy car like a Volkswagen Jetta is about the same price as a set of 3 of these lenses. And what we want to do is allow people to get from point A to point B in their career using these lenses, and hopefully elevate the level of art form that they're creating. So one of the things I'm most looking forward to with making these lenses is seeing all the images that people create. And I would say that one of the main things that set us down the road making these is that we looked at everything that was out there, and if there was something that really met our needs as cinematographers, we would have just bought lenses instead of trying to make them. So we felt that there were so many compromises. You can spend a very large amount of money on a very expensive set of anamorphic lenses and be unhappy with the results, or only partly happy. And to me, that's not something that I want to experience, right?
So I guess like, what are you doing differently or better with these ones? Well, I guess a two-part question. So like, how are these better? What did you not find in the other, I guess, expensive lenses? And also, how are you making these so cheap?
Well, that's a fantastic question. What we looked at when making these is the idea of making a classic lens, right? So modern lenses use many, many elements, and the more elements you have in the lens, the more expensive it is to make, and a lot of tooling costs go into making lenses. So if you have 13 elements or 16 elements, each mold or each tooling setup, watch out for my water, I'll take this one. Each tooling setup can be upwards of $100,000. So if you're putting up 16 elements, you're well over $1.5 million for just the molds.
I guess how many elements are we talking about in a lens like this?
I can't remember right now because I'm not the lens designer, but my co-founder, who is the lens designer, will be back in a little bit.
Okay. Is there a name for the lens formula that you guys use? It's like a plano?
This is a plain art design.
Okay, so
we're going to publish
6 elements, 4 groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to publish all of the specs and like even optical diagrams after we release the lenses.
Okay.
So coming back around, long story short, we're using modern manufacturing techniques to make classic lenses, and that's how we're able to afford to do this relatively inexpensively. So we're using a lot of robotics technology. We're using very high tolerance quality control, and we're using excellent materials.
And is it your factory, or is this a
contract? Oh, no. We have a factory in Asia.
Okay. So you guys completely own, or you guys are contracted?
We own.
When did you guys start?
We started a little over 2 years ago.
Okay, I see. And I guess I was hearing something about like a 90% down payment to get delivery sometime in the future or something like that.
No, not quite. So the retail price of these is $19,995 for 3. If you pre-order, it's a $7,995 deposit, and then $10,000 US due on shipping. So prior to shipping, you give us the $10,000, we ship it to you.
And then how long
until we ship?
Yeah.
We're shipping these in first quarter 2018, so February or March 2018.
Okay. And this is like a real deadline, or is this like a black magic type of timeline?
No, this is a real deadline. Okay. I mean, everything's always subject to change, right? But we are not someone who's going to keep people in the dark and be like, oh, we have your money, like, peace, we're going to fade into the mist. We will offer a full refund to any customer who wants to back out of their pre-order deposit at any time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds really solid.
You'll lose your place in line.
Yeah, totally.
But we will offer you a full refund. So.
Okay. And I guess like, what's preventing you from delivering sooner? Like, I mean, like, do you guys want to?
It takes real time to finish. Like,
okay. But I mean, like, I'm holding one right now. Does it work?
Yeah, these work. I mean, it's on the monitor there.
Okay.
These are prototypes.
Okay.
So these are first article prototypes, and what that means is that when we're manufacturing the lenses, what we do is start by designing the optical elements in the computer. We take the optical designs, we manufacture glass, and then we put that glass into an optical rail system. And we use that with a camera and measurement tools to determine scientifically, one, how accurate was our process of making each element. Two, how well do the optics perform in terms of image quality to human visual perception. So, one thing I'd like to say is that there's so many different types of lenses, and computer-aided design is incredible for lenses. But it's possible to design a lens that has technical perfection, but is lacking human visual perception, quantization, in order to make it appear beautiful to the human eye. So that's our biggest important delivery target, is to be beautiful to humans, hopefully.
Okay. So I guess who's providing that kind of input or that kind of direction to determine what is beautiful? Are you fielding them
It's
with...
mostly in-house. It's mostly in-house between myself and Forrest, who's our lead designer, and then our junior design team. But we also are really excited about allowing different filmmakers to shoot tests and shoot personal projects with the prototype lenses, and give us feedback and give us what they like and don't like about the lenses, and let's try to apply that to the final product as we go.
Okay.
Obviously there's things that we locked in because those are the things that we want, but there are things that we're willing to be making changes or compromises on in order to meet the needs of the most people, while not being completely subject to other people's demands.
I guess for focal lengths, I see this is like a 65 to 2. What else do you have in there?
Yeah, so in the works for the first 3 that are shipping, we have a 40 and a 100 in addition to our 65 millimeter. And the coolest thing about Anamorphic, these are 2 times ratio Anamorphic. So your horizontal field of view is twice as wide as your vertical field of view. So if you think about a 65 millimeter lens in a traditional spherical format, a 65 is like a medium portrait size lens, right? What's cool is that you get a medium portrait size vertical field of view and depth of field properties, but you get a wide angle horizontal field of view. So you get wide angle portrait lens essentially, which is a very unique and special kind of lens.
270-degree rotation for I guess for focus gearing. That what it feels like. Okay. But then for aperture though,
it's around 120 degrees on the iris, and this is not our finished iris, so you can see that it's a non-linear system. We rushed to finish these in time for the show, and we are going to be rectifying that in actual production units, but we wanted to have something that's functional and gives a good idea of how smooth it could be, and just general performance functionality.
Will it be smoother than this? Like I feel a little bit of graininess in here.
Everything's going to be smooth.
Everything's going to be smooth.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I mean, I don't know if you've handled many prototype lenses, but I've handled some really janky prototypes. I'm not going to do any shots fired on other manufacturers, but I've been in a boat where I'm like, I'm so excited to try this lens, and I go and turn it, and it's like crunchy. And I understand, it's part of the prototyping process, so that's not a critique or a criticism of anyone else. It was just really important for us to try to deliver something that felt reasonably good and performed, most importantly, performed optically brilliantly at the trade show here at NAB.
I guess for the laser etching or machining or whatever you guys are doing for the markings right now, are they going to be as thick as they are right now, or are you going to have finer lines?
That's a really great observation. So we do intend to offer a little bit thinner. So one of the biggest priorities was visibility. Because we wanted an assistant to be able to see, or an operator, if you're operating as a single operator without an assistant, to be able to see the focus marks easily. But there is such thing as a little bit too heavy of a line weight. And so, it also helps for photos. So if people are taking photos at a trade show, you have these bigger markings. But it's a little exaggerated, I would definitely agree.
And
good observation.
For the branding as well too, is it going to be so in your face, or
that was part for the trade show? We're probably going to dial it back just 10%.
It looks really good for the trade show though. It's really visible. Cool. Oh,
How
and
did you hear about us?
There's as a friend of mine, well, I guess a friend of ours, like Justin Colson of Toronto. He's a conceptual still.
Did he email? I feel like he might have emailed us this morning or something. I'll have to check
It might be
email.
possible.
It's so hard to check email during the trade show because like we're just talking all day, and I don't want to be rude. I'll check it out.
Yeah, totally. Like, I mean, he may not have, but yeah, he's cool. Like that's the thing. Like this is not gonna be what he's gonna be working with for I think his typical work. Like his typical work is like fantastic conceptual still like tabletop stuff.
Cool.
And a lot of it's actually still like it's like this is like the blue chip of still advertising that he does, like that kind of subject matter.
Excellent.
But like when it comes to like motion picture stuff, it's like it's interesting. I feel like this is also like a kind of like personal project stuff. You know, so we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We have a Canon mount, interchangeable. So these ship with PL mount,
Okay.
but we also offer an interchangeable Canon mount that you can purchase to have
Okay.
on.
And then I guess like does it have to go back to the factory?
No, it's user interchangeable.
Really? Okay. And then, so it doesn't have to be recalibrated?
It should be recalibrated, so if you are someone who feels comfortable calibrating and collimating yourself, you can do it, and otherwise you could bring it to one of our service centers. Right now, we're working on establishing relationships around the world.
Okay.
Service centers on every continent.
Excellent. And then I guess like that lens mount change kit, do you know roughly what is your target price on that?
Haven't set a price on that yet. It's still a little early, but if you look at the price of the lenses, we want to keep something that's relatively consistent to that. So something that's reasonable,
Okay.
not price gouging. Not saying anyone else would price gouge, but something that's in line with the cost of the lenses themselves.
Right. Cool. Perfect. Dan.
I'm Dan.
Hi. Climate.
Nice to meet you, Lennon.
Nice to meet you. This is great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for checking it out. Are you guys posting this online?